After the latest episodes of Steven Universe, one question remains for us to speculate, and that's, where does the show go from here? Towards the end of the Reunited episode, we see Steven awaken from being knocked unconscious with both the crystal gems and yellow and blue diamond towering over him. The diamonds finally know the true identity of Steven, that he's their long-lost sister, once thought to have been shattered by Steven's mom, who is in actuality their sister. Man, the makeup of this show can be quite confusing if you don't already know what's going on. Though we'll have to wait and find out what the outcome of the latest Steven bomb will entail, it's safe to assume that Yellow and Blue will soon calm their nerves and accept Steven as their sister incarnate. But of course, if this is in fact their new reality, what does that mean for the show itself? The roles of the antagonist, the Diamond, will soon shift, which leaves us to speculate the possible avenues the show will take. What are they? What's going on, guys? It's Akeem with Channel Frederator, and on today's Cartoon Conspiracy, we're gonna try to figure out what's next for Steven Universe. Is this the final act of the series, or just the build-up to something bigger and badder? Even better, perhaps we'll see White Diamond rising. That would be awesome. Who knows? Let's find out. In the Reunited episode, we see the cluster, the geoweapon the Diamonds planned on using to not only destroy Earth, but to then go on to destroy other worlds, come to life as a single hive mind entity in the form of an arm. At least that's what we saw. Seems like the Diamonds were really ready to kick things into gear and finally get rid of Earth, but not so fast. Ha! Much like Garnet, seems as though the cluster was made of love. Yes! So much for that whole creation of a inseparable fusion capable of destroying worlds scenario. It's gone right out the window. Honestly, I was hoping to see what the cluster would look like, all fused up and ready to go. I mean, I was envisioning like maybe a skinless Galactus, or pretty much the female Titan from Attack on Titan. That would be awesome. Now, I bring up the cluster because this was once spoken about as being the doomsday project that would soon eliminate the planet. But as we saw, Steven's endless acts of showing care and love won over the cluster. So there goes that particular threat on planet Earth and other planets. Way to go, Steven. And now that the Diamonds know of Steven's true identity, and based upon the latest promo from upcoming episodes, it seems as though the Diamonds might just be on a mission to potentially redeem themselves from the damage they caused during the corruption blast. But as we well know, Blue and Yellow weren't acting alone. There was one key player that's been missing throughout the entire show, and that is White Diamond. So while it may seem as though the overall story arc of Who Shattered Pink Diamond, Who is Pink Diamond is wrapping up quite nicely, it doesn't seem like the show has told all the stories we've been clamoring to hear and see. There is so much more. So what's next? Well, there's two narratives that haven't been fully explored just yet, and both of them, I'd liken them to scenarios from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know what you guys are thinking. Where is Akeem going with this one? Well, just watch. I'm sure you'll agree. It's gonna be awesome. Now let's start with a similar plot narrative that'll bleed into the second one. Lars of the Stars. Ever since Letters to Lars, we've been left contemplating the whereabouts of our favorite pink zombified space captain and his ragtag team of off-colored gems. Now, I mentioned the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they kind of remind me of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in this. They're a similar grouping of space outlaw heroes who tend to find themselves in the occasional precarious situations. Now, Lars was sadly missing or unable to make it to Earth for Ruby and Sapphire's wedding. It's not like Steven didn't have enough time to jump inside a lion's mane and tell him to hurry the hell up and get to Earth. People are getting married. He didn't, which is fine, but there's still a story to be told with Lars and the off-colors that the series could or should explore. There's a lot that needs to be resolved between him and Sadie, for crying out loud. I don't even know if he knows how successful her band is. They're very successful, making music you can rave to. The second plot narrative that the show needs to explore is, of course, White Diamond. Now, little is known about White Diamond, but we do indeed know she exists. That for sure. Now I'll ask you to continue to indulge me in my MCU analogy, please, as I compare White Diamond to that of Thanos. Yes, the big bad finger-snapping baddie from the latest Avengers film. Oddly enough, there's quite a few similarities between the two. White Diamond, much like Thanos in the MCU, has been spoken about and hinted at throughout the entire series. We've seen glimpses of Thanos here and there in post-credit scenes, etc. Though I will agree that White Diamond has more of a mystique than Thanos. I mean, we've only seen her hand and a silhouette of her. Probably some hieroglyphics of her. With Yellow and Blue Diamond potentially joining Steven and his friends, it's fairly likely that White Diamond will become the next big baddie headed towards Earth to turn half the gem population into whatever gems turn into when you smash them. And with Lars still in the stars with the off-colors, perhaps the showrunners are saving his return for one of the most epic battles in Steven Universe history, which of course will require all hands on deck. And when I say all hands on deck, that more than likely means every single gem Steven and the other gems have had encounters with. We see Lapis return in the clutch in the Reunited episode, and Bismuth is back in action. Let's get back to Bismuth to defeat the diamonds. Did they send me quartz when I asked for... Oh, okay, I'll stop. Judging from the upcoming episodes in the series, looks like Centipede might be making a return, possibly with the diamonds healing her. And of course, if that happens, that opens the door up for the return of Jasper. If there is in fact to be one last monumentous event in the Steven Universe series, it will inevitably require the gems of the past to converge with our crystal gems of the present and take the fight straight to White Diamond. It's not like we haven't seen this type of thing played out before. Samurai Jack, in their final comeback season, did the very same thing, where some of the favorite characters from the previous episodes returned to take the fight straight to Aku. Aku! Okay. Oddly enough, Samurai Jack ended officially with a 5th season. Steven Universe seemingly wrapped up their loose ends in their 5th season. Now that it's confirmed for a 6th season, just how much more life is left in the show outside of the Diamond's redemption story arc, a Lars of the Stars and the Off-Color story arc, a possible Jasper, I hope, story arc, and of course the final boss, White Diamond. Quite honestly, if those are all the things in store for us in the 6th season of Steven Universe, potentially being their final season, it's definitely enough to round out every single thing they want to do and to be very impactful, making it a very well crafted and amazingly put together story. Now, of course, I'm not hoping the 6th season is the last season of Steven Universe. You crazy if you think I'm doing that, no. But given everything we've explored pertaining to the potential story arc left to tell, the well seems to be running a tad bit dry. 2018 San Diego Comic-Con is bound to fill in the blanks as to what we can in fact anticipate in the 6th season of the show, as well as if there might be more tales to tell long after the 6th season. But what do you think? What do you guys speculate we can expect from the 6th season of Steven Universe? Is it safe to assume that White Diamond will in fact be the main antagonist? And how about my Marvel Cinematic Universe comparison? You think that was accurate on how certain situations have played out and potentially might play out? I think it was accurate, but I want to know what you think. And if you have any cartoon conspiracy ideas you'd love for us to explore in a future video, let us know. Like the video if you guys enjoyed it and click that bell icon to become part of our notification squad. Once again, I'm Akeem with Channel Frederator, reminding you that Frederator loves you.